Voyage estimate. A voyage estimate is an estimate of the cost and income connected with the specific journey or trip. It is considered a number of the factors such as the amount of the fuel used, the amount of paid import fee, and the revenue generated from the sale of goods in order to provide an estimate of the overall profitability of the journey. Fuel consumption. Fuel consumption is a key of a factor in the total cost of the trip because it represents a significant portion of the vessel overall operation cost. Port fee. In some port, the type of the vessel and the gross tonnage of the vessel determine the port fee. A few ports might charge extra money for the specific service like berthing as well as for the removal of the charge. Additional costs such as those for the pilotage, tabuk and docking service are also possibility. Next, the estimate for the cargo revenue account for the book income from the sale of the cargo as well as any additional income that may be obtained from the related service like loading and unloading the cargo. Next are the costs. Overall cost account for the additional costs like those for the crew maintenance, insurance and tax. Time component in voyage estimate. First is loading and unloading time. The amount of the time spent loading and unloading goods at port is significant component in determining the total cost of the journey. Second, transit time. The amount of the time spent traveling from one port to another. Third, waiting time. The time spent waiting at port. And fourth, downtime, the time when the ship is not in operation.
Freight loading is the act of supplying a liquid gantry and pipeline connectivity at a railway siding so that user can pump cargo. Storage is not the same as loading cargo. For the purpose of storing cargo, user must make their own arrangement. By means of a pipeline, the user are required to pump the cargo. If the operator really handle more than 175 rigs for 2 consecutive years within the project time, the above prescribed tariff may need to be reserved. Only the idle capacity above 175 rigs will be exempt in the tariff review. When the tariff need to be reviewed, the anticipated ARR must be at the level taken into account in the approved order with the staff or cost on a contract basis which is associated with the ideal capacity being the only thing that needs to be evaluated.
Before committing a ship to a specific journey, a charterer will typically inquire about maximum amount of cargo the ship can carry. The seafarers employees involved in the procedure are required to put a few things into practice. The amount to be loaded must be assessed in relation to the ship's damage stability circumstances and for compliance with the minimum stability standard for tanker. On-board load line zone will have their maximum loadable quantity tested. Sometimes ships load in the summer and travel through the winter. It is necessary to determine the quantity of cargo to be loaded while keeping winter zone transportation in mind. It is required that cargo, tanker and liner be ready to load the proper cargo. Tanker and pipe must be properly cleaned. Any water of leftover cargo. For instance, water containment can occur with certain types of goods, such as jet fuel. It is souvenir discover any evidence of past cargo wash water. They may refuse to allow a vessel to be loaded. Some cargo include different type of crude oil. Laguna needs to be tested. Charterer offer the necessary instruction. The charterer must carefully read this instruction to establish whether it can follow them for appropriate carriage during the voyage and effective discharge. Any questions or concerns with the charterers? For instance, some terminals in the UK or the US won't accept a shipment if the temperature is outside its range stated in the voyage order or instruction by the charterer.
Bunker refer to the fuel that is used to power a ship. The most common type of bunker fuel is heavy fuel oil, but ships can also use marine diesel oil or marine gas oil. The choice of fuel can depend on various factors such as cost, ability, and environmental regulation. Also, bunkering is such a ship function that has become the cause of countless incidents of the year. Bunkering on a ship might consist of fuel oil, salvage, diesel oil, cargo, and so on. Bunkering of fuel or diesel oil necessitates extreme caution and vigilance in order to avoid a fire on an oil spill.
The quantity of bunkers to stem also depends on factors such as the voyage plan, fuel consumption, and the vessel's fuel storage capacity. Typically, the ship operator will calculate the expected fuel consumption for the voyage and order the appropriate amount of bunkers to ensure that the vessel has enough fuel to complete the voyage. If the ship has fewer bunkers on board than the minimum quantity specified in the charter party, the charterer has no right to refuse delivery. This is provided that it does not render the ship unsuitable for service and that there are enough bunkers on board to safely sail to the next bunkering point. When the charter party phrase qualifies the number of bunkers on board at delivery with the word approximately, a 0.5% margin is usually allowed. It is the responsibility of the owner to make an honest estimate based on acceptable grounds. Furthermore, in terms of the number of bunkers that the charterer should supply, the owner has a general obligation to cooperate and give the charterer all essential information. This should contain information on prior and present consumption as well as any ship-specific factors that will allow the charterer to furnish the necessary bunkers. In addition, if the ship does not have the required number of bunkers on board as specified in the charter party, the owner may decline to accept the ship for redelivery but may have a claim for compensation. If the charter party is silent on redelivery amounts, the charterer is generally not permitted to order quantities that are not necessary for the operation of the chartered service, for example, to earn a financial context on bunker price on delivery.
As for the reason, the cost of fuel can be a significant expense for a ship operator, so they will often try to find the cost most effective option for bunkering. Additionally, environmental regulation may also play a role in the decision-making process, as some ports may have strict regulation on the type of fuel that can be used.
Question is quantity can be loaded. More option. 50,000 MT multiplied to 10% and equal to 5,000 fertilizer, and 50,000 MT add to 5,000 fertilizer equal to 55,000 MT fertilizer. The maximum value of the quantity that can be loaded is 55,000 MT fertilizer. For the last option, 50,000 MT multiplied to the 10% equal to 5,000 fertilizer, and 50 MT subtract to 5,000 fertilizer equal to 45,000 MT fertilizer. The minimum value of the quantity can be loaded is 45,000 MT fertilizer.
My name is Muhammad Zamdin Ibrahim, S5882. Total for Vogoya duration at sea 5.7 day plus 30.63 day equal to 19.33 day. For the Vogoya duration at port equal to 0.47 day. For the total Vogoya duration at sea plus at port equal to 19.33 day plus 0.47 day equal 19.8 day. First last leg, Rotterdam minus Sika limits. 23 ULSDO first day multiply 1.25 day multiply 470 equal to USD dollar 11,988.75. 23 August first day multiply 4.545 day multiply 470 equal to UD 42,979.195. B leading legs 23 multiply 30.63 multiply 374 equal to USD 170,245.26. Let's see Butlers plus Liden equal to USD 171,930.19. Amount need at C ULSDO 28.75 plus 102.35 equal to 131.1 meter ton. LSDO 23 multiply 13.63 day equal to 313.89 meter ton. Amount need few confusion first day multiply Goya's day. Lay time award 55,000 divide 13,000 equal to 4.23 hours divide 24 equal to 0.16 day. 4 meter ton multiply 0.18 days multiply $374 equal to USD 296.28 thousand. 4 meter ton divide 0.18 day equal to 0.72 meter ton. For the total amount need at port 0.72 meter ton plus 1.60 meter ton equal to 1.88 meter ton. Total bunker cost at sea plus at port USD dollar 117,930 plus 703.12 USD dollar 132,917.08. Total bunker needed ULSDO equal to 28.70 meter ton plus 102.35 meter ton equal to 131.1 meter ton. LSDO equal to 330.49 meter ton plus 1.88 meter ton equal to 315.70 meter ton.
Next, for part daily net profit voyage, calculate voyage duration. The formula is daily net profit equal revenue divide voyage duration. Ballast leg, the answer is 1.25 days. Laden leg is 4.80 days and repositioning leg is 12.65 days. Total estimate voyage duration equal 1.25 days plus 4.80 days plus 12.65 days. So the total answer is 18.7 days. Next, for calculate voyage cost, total bunker cost plus port cost is the formula. For the bunker cost, the answer is 778,650. For the port charge, the total is 139,000. So the total voyage cost equal 778,650 plus 139,000. And the answer is 917,650. For calculate daily net profit, the formula is income equal freight rate multiply quantity. So the total of commission equal 1,210,000 equal 5%. So the answer is 6,500. For the gross income equal income minus commission, the total is 1,149,500. For the revenue equal gross income minus voyage cost, the answer is 231,850. For the daily net profit equal 231,850 divide 18.69 days. So the total is 12,405 and 3.